and I made him watch.
Hello and welcome back to And I Made Him Watch, the podcast where I force my husband to watch movies of all shapes and sizes. I'm your host, Danny Page, and here with me forever and always, my victim of Cupid's arrow, my husband and filmmaker, Troy Allen. Hello, lover.
Hello.
Hello.
Milady.
So wonderful Valentine's. We had a really lovely Valentine's. I got spoiled a little bit, and that was really nice.
Well, you are quite welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good old Troy goes all out sometimes.
Oh, yeah. I appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And I'm bringing this up because originally, and I think we mentioned it in the last episode, we were going to watch La Dolce Vita.
Mm-hmm.
But the only version I could find had the subtitles that were mismatched. And I couldn't make sense of the movie, really. So I moved on. And, why not stick with theme? Since it was Valentine's Day this past Friday, I decided that we were going to watch My Bloody Valentine from 1981. It's a classic. It's an iconic B-horror movie, and it's a must within the community.
I mean, you've got my vote.
You got so excited when I told you we were going to watch this.
I'm a sucker for slashers.
I know you are.
I love slashers.
Yeah.
And for one, La Dolce Vita, I knew nothing about, other than it was like super old, 1960.
Yeah.
And it just, I mean, there is a bit of intrigue about it, but at the same time, like when you mention a movie like My Bloody Valentine, there's also that stigma of, somebody's going to get you, in the dark, so I enjoy that for sure.
Well, because I started to do the research before I found the movie. I started to do a little research about Dolce Vita, and it just seemed to be a movie about a playboy that kept cheating on his fiance or something like that along the lines of that. So,
Yeah, maybe not the best Valentine's Day movie.
No, I mean, it kind of had that like romantic theme to it, but no, I don't think so. So I'm glad I was like, you know what? My Bloody Valentine. And it's been a while since I've seen it. Did you ever watch the remake?
No, I've never seen any of these.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. Well,
I mean, I have now, but
the remake was kind of okay. It was all right. It's been a while since I've seen that one too. I prefer the original.
Yeah, I'm sure it's just like any other remake though. Like you had like 2009's Friday the 13th, which was cool. You got Jared Padalecki and I don't remember the woman's name, played his sister, but there was kind of this like a swing and a miss trying to be a Friday the 13th movie.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
But as far as like originals go, I would say this movie was by far, I would say, one of the better slashers I've seen. I feel like it takes a lot of influence from other slashers that we've seen.
I think, well, it's the 60 or 81.
81.
So yeah, definitely you see a lot of those classic themes.
Yeah.
And tropes.
Yeah.
From slashers. You ready to get into it now?
Let's do it.
The movie begins with two miners descending down into the mine shafts alone. Turns out one of the miners is actually a woman and begins to remove the mining gear. It's a very erotic scene as the intro credits start to roll. And she's really into the hose of the mining mask. And the other miner doesn't want to take his mask off. He refuses to. And it's kind of, it's kind of hot a little bit. There's, some mystery there. She removes her shirt and she has this heart tattoo on her chest. And when he sees it, he actually pushes her into a miner's axe and kills her. Welcome to Valentine Bluffs, by the way. This is.
I was really digging these miners' masks.
You really into it too?
Pun intended. Digging. Anyways, The miner's axe that you referred to is a pickaxe.
A pickaxe, miner axe.
Pickaxe.
Okay. I'm going to say miner's axe a lot. I'm going to say it a lot. Oh, if you're happy, I hope you're prepared.
Classic. I couldn't remember what the word was, so I just made one up.
People will know what I'm talking about, okay?
Sure. I'm sure they will.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, her heart tattoo was kind of a little on the nose, but you know.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, it was kind of funny.
It kind of also it has like a little bit of a nod to what happens throughout the movie.
Right.
With the hearts.
Also, it just dawned on me. So in Silent Night, Deadly Night,
yeah,
we see Billy toss this girl like up on, I think it was a stag's antlers or something like that. Very reminiscent of this.
There's some of that, yeah.
Yeah, very reminiscent. So I like that too.
We're gonna see a lot of repeated themes.
Yeah, for sure.
In this entertainment. Just saying. So we cut to a group of miners finishing their shift and coming up to the surface to shower and, get out of there, go home. The group hit the showers, hanging up their mining gear above the showers. So apparently they call this hanging place the dry. Mm-hmm. And it's like for a few different reasons. It ventilates the clothing. It lets the wet clothing dry faster because the heat rises. And it's also to save room in their lockers. So you have these rows of showers, and then above them, it's just their mining gear and clothes. It's kind of cool, and it's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
It looks like a bunch of hanging bodies.
I really love the utility of it. It's creepy yet functional.
That's the engineer. That's the engineer inside you.
But the one thing that I thought about during this, I was like, oh yes, a bunch of dudes playing grab ass and showering together.
Oh, also, I didn't write this down, but I read that all the actors were actually naked, but they were still filmed from the chest up. I'm not even lying.
But yeah, I was like, nothing like a little homoerotic fantasy to get blood flowing.
Honestly, I mean, I enjoyed it. A bunch of, wet guys covered in coal washing each other.
Yummy.
I mean, so there's a lot of locker room talk as they shower together. Nothing too graphic, but an important plot note is dropped that TJ has returned from being out west, and since he's been gone, Axel has taken up with his girl Sarah. Just your classic love triangle going on. I want to say that the issue could have been solved with polygamy again, but the issue is a lot deeper than just the relationship.
Yeah. I mean, not to give anything away, but things get a little bit more complicated than that later on in the movie. But yeah, very interesting dude, TJ and Axel.
If whoever is listening to our podcast has seen these movies before, they know what we're talking about.
True.
So, I mean...
Yeah,
you know what happens. We're not... Just in case there is that one in, 300 that hasn't watched the movie that we're talking about, we're not going to spoil it.
Right.
We're going to try the best to keep it, unspoiled.
Yeah.
But there are spoilers.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
Obviously.
If you've never seen this movie, go watch it now.
We're a movie podcast.
We are going to give away the ending.
Yeah. The group finishes up the shower and head into town, and they head to the rec hall where all the young ladies are fixing up the rec room for the Valentine's Day dance that weekend. And here are our couples. Hollis and Patty. Hollis is my favorite. Hollis is my favorite character. Yep. He is my baby. I love him. He's just this chubby guy that everyone seems to really like and respect. And Patty, his girlfriend, is a very sweet woman and is Sarah's best friend. There's John and Sylvia. They're okay. And Mike and Harriet, again, they're just okay. Nothing. Yeah. There isn't much development. I just felt like Hollis and Patty had a bit more screen time. Mm-hmm. And just seemed to me more believable. And then you have Howard, who's just the spare comedic relief. He's just that's Howard. That's all.
Fucking Howard, dude.
Fucking Howard. Ugh. Across the street from the rec room, the Mayor Haniger, right? Is it Haniger? Is that how they pronounced it? Haniger?
Something like that.
And Miss Mabel have a quick talk about the dance and the fact that this is the first Valentine's dance in 20 years. Haniger tells Mabel not to really focus on that. That the fact that it's been like 20 years. I wonder why.
I wonder why.
I wonder why.
Maybe. Ooh. Maybe it's because someone went on a pickaxe murdering spree.
No.
I'm just spitballing here.
No.
Just spitballing. Anyways.
No.
Yeah. I love how when the guys bust into this the union hall or whatever where they're setting up for the dance and stuff, and the dude literally walks up underneath the ladder to like kiss this girl or whatever.
Yeah.
It was Axel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Kissing Sarah.
Yeah, and I was like, walking under a ladder is bad luck, right?
Nice catch. That is a good catch.
I wonder if it's if it's foreshadowing.
A little foreshadowing. A little foreshadowing.
Oh well,
we can come back to that. Remember that we can come back after our discussion. Yeah.
Full circle.
Full circle. Yeah. Also, TJ is the mayor's son, who, like we said earlier, went out west to try to make it on his own, but came crawling back home when he couldn't take it. The mayor and the chief head out to a meeting, but are caught by Howard, who delivers a heart-shaped box to the mayor that had been left for him. On the way to the meeting, the mayor opens the box and reads a card. From the heart comes a warning, filled with bloody good cheer. Remember what happened as the 14th draws near. Then reveals a human heart inside instead of chocolates. Bummer. Damn.
I really enjoyed the idea of a pickaxe-wielding miner coming to town every Valentine's Day or whatever.
Yeah.
Because it's Halloween, but for Valentine's Day. Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering, like, how many other holidays, other than Christmas, obviously, do we have like slashers for?
All of them, probably.
Easter Day, like Easter.
Easter, probably. There's probably like a B movie about a killer bunny. In fact, I know there is.
Okay, what about Labor Day?
Probably.
I don't know.
I'm sure there's like some kind of like time warp stuck on like Labor Day type shit.
Oh, you wore white after Labor Day.
Yeah.
That would be cheesy.
We can look into it.
Anyways,
we'll look into it. Honestly, yeah.
We'll circle back.
Yeah, we'll circle back.
Yeah.
The chief and mayor head back to town. At the local bar, the guys and gals listen to the barkeep warning them about how the town is cursed. The barkeep's name is Happy, by the way. He then explains what happened 20 years ago. During the Valentine's dance, the supervisors of the mine head out early, leaving 5 men down in the mine alone. There was then an explosion that trapped 5 men down in the mine. It took 6 weeks for them to dig the lone survivor out, Harry Warden, who had resorted to cannibalizing the dead miners to survive. He then spent 1 year in a mental hospital, and then on the anniversary, he went back to Valentine's Bluff and killed the 2 survivors, stuffing their hearts into heart-shaped boxes and warning the town to never have another dance ever again.
Interesting. And then Nirvana wrote a song about it.
Heart-shaped box.
Heart-shaped box.
Yeah.
Anyways, Henry, not Henry, but Harry, him cannibalizing the other miners, maybe the heart was kind of tasty.
Wouldn't he like eat those hearts then instead of like...
He's in a very generous sharing mood. It's Valentine's Day.
He wants to share the best pieces.
Exactly.
Nice. That's so
now
sweet.
You're catching on.
Yeah, that's really nice of him.
Also, during this bar scene, we see Axel and Hollis playing Five Finger Fillet.
Yes.
And then Axel stabbed himself.
Axel did stab himself.
He stabbed himself with a finger.
He did.
Which, good for him. You know, I hope he learned a lesson because you shouldn't do things like that.
Knives are sharp.
Yeah,
he learned that
knives.
quickly.
Yeah.
You shouldn't play with sharp objects.
Yeah, I'm just glad that my boy Hollis didn't get hurt. I don't know what I would do if Hollis gets hurt.
Are we both Team Hollis?
I'm Team Hollis.
I love Hollis so much. He's adorable.
That stash, though.
Dude, the stash.
That put fucking Magnum PI to shame, dude.
It's so nice and so like elegantly like
oh yeah, if he waxed
curled,
it, just whoosh,
cute,
bro.
Cute, adorable little thing.
Man.
Love him.
Yep.
He's just the sweetest little thing.
He'd fit real nice in a top hat and a monocle, you know. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Anyways,
Howard then does the comedic relief thing and makes some fart noises to break up the tense scene from the flashback. Axel seems a bit controlling as Sarah goes to play some music. It's giving domestic. It's giving domestic a lot.
Yeah.
She takes the chance to talk to TJ, trying to lighten the mood and pokes that it's his fault and all this stuff. And TJ just like walks away from her. Yeah. It's great choices for partners. Great job, Sarah. Wonderful communication skills.
Yeah, he's like playing pool or something as she walks up to the jukebox.
It's like air hockey or something.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
She walks up and he just starts being so aggressive with it. Like, dude, calm down.
Like she's literally trying to lighten the mood and be his friend, and he's just like,
for sure.
My property has been stolen. Sorry, that was horrible. Meanwhile, the mayor and chief are trying to figure out where Harry is. They also get the heart checked out and confirm that it's a human female heart. Back in Valentine's Bluff, Mabel is hanging out at the laundromat while someone watches her from outside. She leaves the room to refill her drink, and the stranger enters the laundromat and leaves her Valentine. So sweet, so nice.
Yeah.
So lovely. That's so cute, you know?
Yeah.
When Mabel returns, she spots the Valentines and opens it. And the card reads, "Roses are red, violets are blue. One is dead, and so are you." The lights cut off. The miner jumps out and attacks Mabel, killing her.
Poor Mabel.
Yeah, Mabel seemed like a sweet girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She just wanted to have a nice party for everybody.
Yeah.
Harry didn't like that. Oh well. Poor Mabel.
Yeah, poor Mabel. Yeah. She's gone. Out at the junkyard, Hollis, Mike, and Howard are cooking off the radiator of a car. Canadian things, I guess. Like,
it wasn't until way later on when I realized that they were Canadian.
Really?
Yeah. It's never specifically said that they're Canadian.
The way they talk alone is a give, you know?
Yeah, I know, but it was later on when I picked that up.
Yeah.
If you've been watching the podcast for a while, or listening rather, you notice that I don't pick things up quickly.
It's okay,
but
it's fine.
I get there.
Yeah,
I get there.
And I'm kind of amazed it took you that long because it is very very Canadian.
It's the sorry, them saying sorry, and it's like, okay, I got it. Yeah, granted, Hollis alone just reeks Canadian.
Yeah, I mean they all reek Canadian. Really, honestly.
Yeah,
they do. I mean, and it's okay you didn't get it. It's fine. You know.
Yeah.
You figured it out.
I did.
It's fine. So TJ then slips down beside Axel in a junk car in an attempt to communicate, I guess. They exchange a few words, but nothing is really said. They both begin to play their harmonicas, and Axel's just a little pissy, and TJ is being a bit of a man-child. So, like, they're both just not good vibes, not very mature men. Just, it's like the battle of harmonicas at that point. Mm-hmm. It's very childish and territorial. It's like a kid left a toy and now another kid is playing with it, and now the original kid wants the toy back, type of thing.
Yeah.
Like they really are treating Sarah like an object, and it's
Yep. Yeah, I just
so
wanted
annoying.
I just wanted wanted them to play like some Blues Traveler or something, or
Right,
something
like break into a musical number together.
Yeah, give me something.
Yeah.
Dude. I mean, could you imagine My Bloody Valentine was actually a musical?
Dude.
Like a horror musical?
I would watch the fuck out of that.
My Bloody Valentine on ice.
I don't know. That's going too far. That's too much. That's too Canadian.
It's too Canadian.
That's too Canadian.
I think that's Canadian. That's perfectly Canadian.
Maybe.
I mean, you mix
be.
My Bloody Valentine with ice hockey, bro. Say less.
I mean, I could
I'm
see it.
trademarking it right now.
I could see it. Yeah. The next morning, the chief finds out that the hospital Harvey Warden was supposed to be at isn't there. Oof. They're now considering canceling the dance. Oh no,
Bruh. That is terrible. I mean, a few dead people is no reason to cancel a dance. You know, people die all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't prove that Harry killed them.
Right. That's true. And honestly, they make up a story of why they're canceling the dance.
Yeah. Yep.
Which we actually it comes in a little later.
Well, currently, oh yeah, never mind. Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get to it.
Sarah and Patty talk about Sarah's relationships problems as they head to work. The chief heads over to the laundromat looking for Mabel. He calls out to her but doesn't get a reply and begins to look for her. Noticing a smell and that some of the valentines are hanging upside down, he starts to take the valentines down off the wall. He begins to unload a dryer, sniffing the clothes, and then one of the dryers opens and reveals Mabel's body inside.
Yeah, and that was pretty gross too.
Yeah, it was pretty gross, pretty burnt up and bloody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She looked like that one dude, like, you remember RoboCop?
Mm-hmm.
When the dude runs into that fucking vat that in the truck and the shit spills out and it like starts melting his flesh and stuff.
Yeah, kinda, yeah.
Yeah, she looked like that.
Like burnt beef jerky.
Like just melting. Like if the Wicked Witch of the West started melting, but then it went terribly wrong.
Okay.
Like she's like, this ain't how it was supposed to happen, you know?
Yeah.
And we're just like, how the fuck was it supposed to happen? You're melting. Anyways, that was Mabel.
That was Mabel. He cut her up and dried her.
Making some jerky.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that's one way to make a jerky in a dryer. Down in the mines, TJ and Axel have some issues. The girls are fighting. Okay. TJ is sent home. The mayor and chief decide to lie. There we are. Lie about Mabel's death to keep it pretty quiet, to keep people from panicking. Before her body is taken away, the chief finds a valentine inside of Mabel's chest. It reads, "It happened once, it happened twice. Cancel a dance or it will happen thrice."
Dun, dun.
So here's the thing. If you know a killer is running around your town killing people and you don't want people to panic, the thing is not to lie to the people, but tell the people the truth. Because when they find out that it's not just someone having a heart attack and that there is a killer in the town, then you get some panic.
Right.
And people go crazy.
I mean, you could always just say, hey, listen, we've got to cancel this dance, okay?
There's been a murder.
There's been a murder.
Don't tell them that it's the axe-wielding killer, Harry Warden. Just
I mean, hell,
people being crazy.
At this point, there's been 2 murders, okay?
Yeah.
But, at least just level with them. 2
murders, 1 body, though.
True. 2 hearts.
2 hearts.
Well, he hasn't even found the other heart yet.
Well, they found the heart that was in the Valentine.
Correct.
And then the heart that there was one in Mabel's, I think, Valentine. No, just the 1 heart.
Yeah, no, in Mabel's actually had chocolate in it.
Oh.
But the card itself read, roses are red, violets are blue, one is dead and so are you.
Yep.
So, but when they find Mabel's body, the heart is missing. It's gone. Because the sheriff finds the thing
that's in her chest.
Yeah.
So instead of telling everybody the truth, they decide to hide it, and it turns out not to be a great idea. Imagine that. Imagine lying and not having good outcomes.
Right.
The mayor declares that the dance is canceled and demands that the decorations be taken down. No one is happy about this, and back at the mine, as Axel and the others head out of the mine, TJ is already showered and clocking out. He takes the head start as a chance to get some alone time with Sarah. Even though Sarah says she doesn't want to go with TJ, she goes with him. They have a heart-to-heart about their relationship, yada, 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 happy, 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 lovey, lovey, lovey. TJ kind of just convinces Sarah to give him a second chance.
Yeah, but that was kind of on the verge of kidnapping.
Kind of, because she literally I don't want to go with you.
Yeah, he forced her in the car.
Yeah, are you listening to me? Nope.
Just in the car. And just drives off with her. I mean, TJ seems like a really stand-up guy. And it was around this point when I was like, hey, I think these people are Canadian. Mm-hmm. Just from the way they say sorry.
Oh, so now, okay. Yeah, because he does say sorry a lot.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Yeah.
Sorry? Sorry?
Yeah. When he's saying I wanted to call, but I couldn't, I'm sorry. And it's just like, bro,
that Canadian?
Yeah, you got some maple syrup on your chin.
Also, where out west was he going?
Fuck if I know.
In Canada?
Where are they? That's what I want to know.
Well, Nova Scotia.
Oh, okay. So everywhere is out west.
Yeah.
He could have been going to fucking Toronto.
Actually, you're probably right. It probably was Toronto or some major city.
Yeah, I mean, I highly doubt he was going to the fucking Yukon territory or something.
No.
I'm going to Alaska.
Maybe British Columbia.
Yeah.
Maybe. At the bar, Axel waits for Sarah and approaches TJ when he sees him, asking if he's seen her. TJ replies, "Ain't my turn to watch after her," and then winks at Axel. It's like TJ is a shit starter. I think they both are actually just pot stirrers at this point.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Just trying to get a reaction.
I mean, they're just brimming with masculinity, and they're just trying to one up the other.
Yeah.
Really. So, I don't fucking know. It bothers me because they're just treating Sarah as a possession than an actual person.
Mm-hmm.
They're just objectifying her.
Yep.
The whole time.
It's the 80s.
True.
It still happens, but it's a heavy theme on most of these slasher movies and stuff.
Right.
Yeah. So turns out Sarah is actually walking alone at night for some reason. It's not clear if she's heading home or to the bar, but she's getting stalked by something. She then runs into the chief, who is doing a night patrol, and kind of saves her. And it looks like he sees something behind her, but he just kind of ignores it and lets Sarah continue walking alone at night by herself.
Yeah.
Alone.
Yep. So what did you think of that flashlight?
The flashlight?
The flashlight.
The one that he's carrying?
Yes.
What about it?
Bro, that's a deadly weapon, dude. That thing was
It's the 80s. It's a proper torch,
the thing was a damn yardstick.
It
of
was
a fucking
huge.
Flashlight, bro.
Yeah.
You could beat somebody to death with that thing.
I think that's the point.
Probably.
I think it's meant to beat people, right? You
True.
find them with the flashlight and then you beat them with the flashlight.
Yeah, but don't you? I mean, I guess true. I mean, what's the point of carrying a flashlight and a baton when you can just carry the flashlight?
Double wielding.
Man. Blind them and then bash them.
Blind them and bash. Blind and bash.
Man, thing is sick.
Over at the bar, the group finally decide that they're actually going to throw a Valentine's party in the mine. Great idea. Wonderful idea. Genius. Just, yeah. Mm-hmm. The barkeep, Happy, tries to let him hey, guys, don't do that. No one listens to him. They decide to, so the barkeep Happy tries to tell them to not to throw the party. It's a stupid idea. Follow the rules the chief has set, blah, 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 blah. But after no one listens to him, he decides to set a minor dummy, like a dummy that's a minor, or a dummy like dressed as a minor.
Right.
And he sets it up with a pickaxe to like, it's like a trap. So when they open the door, the miner will swing the pickaxe.
Yeah.
He tests it a few times and it seems to work. And when he opens the door, the axe raises, classic move. He's also very pleased with himself because every time he opens the door and sees the axe, he just giggles and like shits himself, honestly. Like he is so fucking pleased with himself. And then he tests it for like the 4th or 5th time. So there is this whole scene of him like opening the door, laughing himself silly, closing the door, opening the door, laughing. It's a thing. But on the 4th or 5th time he opens the door, the killer miner is actually there and kills the barkeep.
Yeah. Yeah. It is kind of strange because when he opens it the time before, he laughs and then he goes to walk away and then he stops and he's like, it's like he's thinking to himself, like, did I see what I saw? Like it's almost like he saw something that he wasn't sure what he saw. So he turns back and he opens the door again, and Harry Warden is there. Yeah. So I don't know if he like was going back the last time to check it again or to check and see if he
saw what he saw
or something. Yeah. I don't know, but it's very interesting. Also, it's a very fucked up prank, bro. That's fucked up.
Oh yeah, it's extremely fucked up.
Yeah, he kind of got what he deserved a little bit.
I mean,
although I don't know if that fits the crime, the punishment fit the crime, because he gets got.
Yeah, he gets got.
So I don't know.
The next day, they begin to set up for the party at the rec room at the mine. They also, they're not going into the mine. Like this area is above the mine where all the buildings and stuff are. So they're not actually like in the ground. For our listeners and viewers who have not seen the movie for some reason. At the police office, everything seems to have like stayed calm throughout the day and throughout the night. But a Valentine was left for the chief. He opens it carefully and reveals that it's a normal Valentine with chocolate, and it was from Mabel.
Bro, that wrecked me, dude.
No.
Wrecked me.
Poor Mabel. That was, yeah.
I was like, man, sheriff could have smashed.
Pretty sure the sheriff... No, actually, it's not the sheriff that's married. The mayor is married. Yeah. That's right. The sheriff was... Yeah. Okay. They were probably kind of a little sweet on each other.
Probably.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
Anyway. Over at the mine, the party's at a full swing. One of the younger guys heads to the kitchen of the rec room looking for something to eat to satisfy his munchies. And as he's looking into this giant pot of like boiling hot dogs, the killer pushes his head into the hot water and drowns him. Like,
imagine being taken out by drowning in hot dog water. Like, that has to be the shittiest way to go.
That is probably the most saddest death you could ever have.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, the murder part is pretty bad, but like naturally in some way, in some form, dying by drowning in hot dog water. Like maybe you fell asleep or something, or I don't know, you fell into a giant pot of boiling hot dog water. That would be the ultimate, like, just lame death.
I mean, I love hot dogs, so I probably would have tried to get like a bite or two in before I went.
Yeah.
You know? Like, just like
bobbing for hot dogs while you die.
Yeah. Fuck it, bro. You know?
Might as well get something, you know, for the road, you know, for the trip.
A fucking road dog, dude.
Give him something to look for later.
Just in there fucking nom 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 nom. Fucking Harry's like, what the fuck? Like, for that, he probably would have took his mask off for that. He probably, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude?
He's probably like, we need to have a serious conversation about your.
He's like, people think I'm fucked up. You're fucked up, dude. Yeah. That's fucked up. So, fucking hot dogs.
Okay. The chief has a feeling about the mines and decides to go out and investigate, make sure no one's out there. As he's leaving the station, he hears some dogs growling. And outside, he finds several street dogs licking and growling over a Valentine. This one reads, "You didn't stop the party." No rhyming, no little like Valentine theme thing. Just, you didn't stop the party.
I think this signifies that at this point, Harry is done playing games. He's done.
It's not going to be one at a time now. It's like all of them.
Yeah, he's turning it up a scotch.
Yeah. Time to just get out there and just start.
He grabs his pickaxe and he's like, it's clobbering time. Mm-hmm. That's what I would do.
So over at the party, Howard does the Howard thing to break up the intense vibe from the last scene by snorting Coke from a can up his nose.
Actual Coca-Cola, not...
That's why I said Coke from a can.
Yeah, but that's not cocaine from a can. It's Coke.
Coca-Cola. It's cocaine from a can.
Hey, bro, it's the 80s. People were crazy about their cocaine, dude. So I just want to clarify, okay? It's Coca-Cola, which is also a very Howard thing to do.
Yeah, it's Coke from a can. It's soda. Meanwhile, Sarah and Axel have a public dispute. Axel is being a bit handsy and forceful, and Sarah really isn't having it. And finally, TJ gets involved because Axel is like manhandling Sarah like in the middle of the party. He gets involved and tells Axel Sarah wants to be with him. And Sarah's like, I've got my own mouth to speak with. It just kind of like tired of the guys like speaking for her. And Sarah runs off while TJ and Axel finally kind of like duke it out. Yeah.
Well, Sarah says, I have my own mouth. And TJ's like, well, use it.
Yeah.
Tell him how you really feel or some shit like that.
Again, still telling her what to do and how, what to say.
Yeah.
Ooh, what a...
Yeah, I was like, dude, Axel is such a fucking drama queen, dude.
They're both fucking drama queens. They are they just emotional men, you know?
Yeah.
Hollis breaks the fight up. Yeah, Hollis. He then pushes Axel towards the door and tells him to get out of there. Hollis checks on TJ, and TJ then checks on Sarah, who declares that she doesn't care anymore and just to leave her alone. Then Howard does his thing again, except uses his left nostril to snort some more Coke.
Yeah.
Instead of his right nostril.
Yeah. Again, Coca-Cola.
Coke from a can.
Yeah.
Coke from
also,
a can.
in the scene, Sarah, like TJ walks up to check on her, and Sarah like puts her head on his chest or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then she's like, I don't care anymore. Leave me alone. And it's like, okay. Well, I mean, if you feel that way, why did you put your head on his chest? Because to me, that's kind of being affectionate.
I want to say movie magic, but that doesn't really fit. Does it?
No, that's terrible writing is what that is.
Yeah. It's not the best.
No,
yeah, it's definitely
fine.
not the best.
It's okay. It is what it is.
Outside, Axel sulks in a corner as the party continues. In the dry, Sylvia and John are getting in the mood, and John leaves her alone to go get some beers. And inside the rec room, two girls find a heart in the hot dog water.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Does nothing about it.
No, they don't even know what it is. They're just
nothing
like,
about it.
Gross. Also,
they just put it back.
Yeah, they picked this heart up out of the hot dog water. Mm-hmm. And at the same time, John had come in to get beers.
John opens the fridge.
Yes.
And grabs some beers. Unknown to him or the others that there is a severed head that only the audience can see.
Right. Yeah. Man. Bro, turn around, dude.
Pay attention to your surroundings, people.
Dude. Open your fucking eyes.
See what's going on.
Let this be a warning to you guys out there. When you open your fridge, just
check for heads.
Check real quick.
Check for heads.
Check for heads. Check to make sure there's not a killer in your fridge.
Honestly, check for hands, like severed hands.
Oh yeah, hands too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely in the freezer though.
Like any body parts.
Yeah.
Check for body parts.
Yeah, some people, crazy people.
So back with Sylvia, she gets creeped out and thinks that John is trying to scare her. The clothes from the drive begin to fall around her, freaking her out even more as she tries to escape. The body from the barkeep, Happy, falls in front of her, causing her to scream and turn away. And as she does, the killer miner, or Harry Warden, as you want to say, grabs her head and then impales it onto the makeshift shower heads. John finally gets back and starts to look for Sylvia. He sees the showers on and goes in, but finds her dead body hanging from the shower pipe.
Like, bro, that was fucked up, dude.
Yeah.
Dropping the clothes from the ceiling and stuff was in and of itself very creepy because the clothes have, the shape of a person.
Yeah, they're humanoid.
Yeah. So you never know what exactly is going to come down from the ceiling.
Yeah.
And then we see Happy's body.
Yeah.
And then impaling her head on the shower, like, that's fucked up too.
Yeah. These makeshift shower heads are these very thin metal pipes that have been turned down and then clipped at the ends.
Yeah.
To create this very pressured spray.
Yeah.
So the edges are very like
sharp
and jagged and stuff. So
yeah, pretty
rough.
Yeah, I guess they didn't really care too much about like occupational safety or anything back then.
It's the 80s.
It's the 80s. What do you know?
Yeah,
I'm honestly,
no one gave a fuck about anything.
Like, how did we survive as a civilization through the 80s? I don't know. Stupidity. One of life's mysteries.
So Hollis, Patty, Sarah, Howard, and Mike and Harriet decide to ride the mining carts down into the mine just for funsies. 2,000 feet down, just for fun. Just for funsies. I wouldn't say I'm claustrophobic, but I don't like the idea of being trapped underground.
Yeah.
Especially if it is in a space where I can't move.
Right.
And the idea of going down into a mine shaft for fun, like we've gone like into caves and stuff, but the idea of being like in the closed tunnels and just so many different ways you can get lost down there, and that freaks me out.
So you would never want to go spelunking?
Hell no.
Oh man. It was on my bucket list, bro.
You go by yourself.
Oh, great.
I don't have to be with you to do that.
That is exactly how you get got by Harry Warden. You go by yourself.
You go by yourself.
Yeah.
No, Harry cares with your someone or not. Like, it doesn't matter who you with.
No, what you have to do is you can go spelunking any day of the year except Valentine's Day. Okay? Because if you go on Valentine's Day, Harry Warden's going to get you.
Okay.
Anyways.
So no splunking on Valentine's Day.
Yep.
That sounds kind of inappropriate. Anyway, the group gets to the bottom, and Hollis is immediately like, "Okay, kids, let's get back up there," but is soon convinced by the girls, into giving the girls like a tour of the mine. What the fuck? Why? It's just tunnels of dirt.
I don't know. It's like, I think what it was is the girls had a suicide pact, and they were just like, "Yeah, we're gonna go down and get got by Harry Warden."
What a way to go!
Yeah, they were like, "This is the way."
What a way to decide that you want to die.
Yeah, Hollis didn't know. Poor Hollis.
Anyways, soon Mike and Harriet break off from the group to explore the mine and be alone. They kind of like break off and go into the engine room and kind of, get handsy. Back at the top, the head in the fridge has been found. John is back reporting that Sylvia is dead. Axel then tells everyone that it's Harry Warden and everyone needs to get out. TJ tries to call the cops, but the phone line has been cut. TJ then tells John and his group to get back to town and get the chief and the mayor. TJ grabs Axel and tells him that Sarah and the others are down in the mine. And as everyone else leaves, TJ and Axel joins forces and go down into the mine to find the others, splitting up on different levels of the mine.
Yep.
How funny for that to happen in that way, to be like, oh, it's automatically like Harry Warden. That's so funny that he did that, isn't it? Just instantly, it's Harry Warden. Everyone get out.
Harry Warden, get out. What I really loved about this part was so Axel and TJ take the time to like get dressed up in their miner gear, right? Mm-hmm. And miner helmets and all that stuff. And then they go over to the elevators, right? And they stop just short of the elevator to have this conversation, right?
Yeah.
And the whole time I'm sitting there thinking like, you know, it's a long way down, right? It's a long elevator ride. You probably could have had this conversation in the elevator.
Right.
Save a little bit of time.
Because then they like, after they have this conversation, they like shake hands like they're about to depart. And then they both get into the elevator with each other. Like, you could have done that like
it's
at
like,
the end.
Oh, man. It's like, you ever like see somebody at like, I don't know, out on the town and you're just like, hey, how's it going? Yeah, cool, man. All right, well, see you later. And you like depart, but then you walk in the same direction, right? Like you're both going in the same direction. And now it just gets fucking weird. I think that's what was going through their mind. They're just like,
oops, I forgot that this guy was actually going to be going down with me. That's strange.
Fancy seeing you here.
Yeah. That's an awkward time. And they've been fighting over a girl and shit.
Like Axel punched TJ just earlier, and now they're in this elevator together.
Well, they joined forces to save Sarah. They also have to prove that who loves Sarah more by like doing this type of thing, you know?
Yes.
Yeah. So Hollis and the girls have somehow separated from Howard, as Hollis shows them the oldest section of the mine built in the 1800s. He lets them know that no one's been down here since Harry Warden, and then Howard appears from the rafters of the mine and scares everyone.
Yeah, it was at this part where I wished death upon Howard.
Howard's so annoying.
Yeah,
I understand the purpose of a comic relief, but there's a way you can do it a little bit easier and a little more fluid with the movie. It doesn't have to be these very intense moments, and then suddenly you have Howard snorting coke. Okay, like
you just make me want to punch Howard. Yeah, that's all it is.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine.
You good?
Yeah,
you want
that just
more ranting?
Howard's got me heated. Okay.
Sorry. They regroup and continue the tour. Mike and Harriet are in the engine room, getting close. Hollis and the others begin to move to the main shaft so they can get out of there. And they then hear someone smashing the lights in the mine. It's the killer. It's Harry Warden. Freaked out, they begin to look for Mike and Harriet so they can get the fuck out of there.
I think so. Seeing Harry break the light bulbs, it is very terrifying because they don't see him. Like he's like around the bend or whatever, or we're led to believe anyways. But you can hear him smashing these light bulbs, and I'm just sitting there like, Harry, you're being awful loud smashing these light bulbs, bud.
He wants to scare him.
I know.
That's the thing.
I get it, but you could tone it down just a little bit. You're being loud, bud.
I like it. Be drama, Yeah,
but he's Canadian.
Make a mess.
He's Canadian. He's supposed to be nice. He hit him with a
stereotype. Not nice. Not good.
I fuck, bud. Just I fuck. I picture in his mind every time he smashes a light bulb, he says sorry, sorry.
Oops. Oh, sorry there, bud. I didn't mean to smash a light like that. That was a little too loud. Oh, then I did it again, bud.
If any of our listeners or viewers live in Canada,
it's just a
joke.
I'm so sorry. That was horrible. I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
I feel really bad.
Anyways.
Oops.
My apologies.
Back in town, the party goers find the chief and let him know what's going on down at the mine. The chief heads to the mine and radios in for backup. Down in the mine, the group runs into TJ, who lets them know that Harry Warden's back and he's been killing people. TJ and Hollis then split up to find Mike and Harriet, leaving Howard to watch the girls. There are issues here.
Yeah.
Why the fuck would you leave Howard, who, by the way, is like a new guy at the mine, who's like an intern, okay, who doesn't know his way around the mine, who obviously is some sort of fuck up. He's not the strongest guy, and he's the goofball of the group. You're going to leave him in charge of watching the two women? Why?
I would say it's a very stressful moment, and people just aren't thinking clearly. Okay.
Yeah.
So they did what they thought was best at the time.
Why not one of the more senior members who could get them out of the mine while the other two go and find the other ones?
This is true.
That's the writing. Logically, the writing is just bad.
I mean, I feel like you could have sent Howard to meet his demise earlier than this, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Trust me. It'll be okay.
Hollis discovers Mike and Harriet in the engine room with a large drill head stuck through them both. Hollis then is shot in the head with a nail gun twice by the killer. He's able to wander away from the engine room, and he then scares Howard and the girls as he falls to the ground dead in front of them.
Yep.
So he makes it back to the group just at this corner, and then his body falls to the ground and he's dead.
Yeah.
But
I was like, not Hollis, damn it.
Yeah, Patty becomes hysterical, I was hysterical, honestly.
Yeah.
Patty does a little too much.
True.
Patty is a lot.
Yeah. At first I was like, oh man, I felt bad for Patty, but then Patty just kind of got on my nerves and okay. You can calm down now. It's over.
You get in the survival mode. Come on, survival mode. We gotta go. We gotta go. It's time to go. He dead. I don't want to be dead. Go. Let's girl, go. Wrap it up, girl. Wrap it up. Howard flees as killer approaches them. Sarah tries to get Patty to leave Hollis's body, and finally, after a slap to the face, Patty comes to. And as they get ready to leave, Axel appears. He leads the girls down another mine shaft, and Patty is being a handful again. She is just like, I don't want to leave his body. Why we can't leave him down here? Let's go back and get him. Girl, there's a killer in the tunnels.
Yeah.
How are you? And Hollis was a big boy.
He was.
Who the fuck is carrying Hollis up this 2,000 feet?
Not me.
Not me?
Maybe let's deal with the priority first. Let's figure out.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, we'll come back. Okay. Jesus.
They come to a conjunction of the mine shaft and run into TJ. And by running into TJ, I mean Axel grabs a log and then swings it into TJ's abdomen because he thinks it's Harry. But
yeah, they see the light on the ground around the corner. Mm-hmm. And he thinks it's Harry coming around. So he swings the log or whatever. Comical.
Yeah, they decide that they should get the girls out and come back down for the others. Good plan. Yeah. Finally. Yeah. The chief arrives to the mine and finds the lift broken and is unable to get down into the mine. As at the lift, TJ finds the controllers have been smashed. And the only way out, another way out, is a ladder up the shaft. Mm-hmm. Again, they are 2,000 feet down into the ground, and that is a lot of ladder. That is a lot of ladder.
Well, what I found funny was as soon as they saw the control panel was smashed, mm-hmm. somebody said, "There's no way out," or something like that. And there's clearly a ladder right next to them. I thought it was kind of funny.
On the way up the ladder, Patty is still being a mess. Axel keeps going fast, and Patty keeps stopping. So you have going up the ladder, you have Axel first, Patty, Sarah, and then TJ. It's a whole thing. Axel then misses a step, grabs a rope that then pulls Howard's body down, who was killed off screen, and Howard's head is decapitated by the rope, and then his body falls down the shaft.
Yeah. Yeah. The whole time I'm screaming at Patty. I'm like, just fucking climb. And I'm like, she's scared of heights, huh? Well, I'm sure she's scared of being murdered by that damn pickaxe too.
Yeah,
You know?
I'd be kind of, phobic about that.
But no, she's more worried about being afraid of heights. You know what? Fine.
Life or death. Survival or death. It's not a hard choice.
Well,
it's not a hard choice for most people.
Well, she made her bed so she could sleep in it.
The group then turns back and goes back down the ladder in fear that Harry is waiting for them at the top. They then decide to get to the cars and try to walk up the railway. TJ leads them into this cramped and flooded tunnel. And then when TJ calls to Axel, who is behind them, to, we got to cross or whatever, they hear a splash and someone fall into water. TJ and the girls discovered that it appears that the murderer has pushed Axel into the water and he is drowned.
Yeah.
Because you see his light on the headlamp fade out.
Yeah.
And TJ can't really help him because it's like 60 feet down into water.
Yeah.
So
yeah, there's actually behind them on the wall, there's a sign and it says water depth 60 feet.
Yeah.
Or something like that. And I'm like, God, imagine being underwater right next to this or not underwater, but underground, and right next to this fucking pool of water, and it's fucking 60 feet deep.
It's crazy.
Shit,
and it's like a very small type of like area too. It's one of those little like splunking things.
Yeah. No, sir.
No.
I choose life.
TJ splits up with the girls for some reason, telling them to follow the wall or this tunnel to the left. Not sure why he decided to split up from them. Maybe to distract the killer. Who knows? Anyways, as the girls leave, a little cave-in happens and cuts the girls and TJ off completely from each other.
Yep. Ooh.
Don't split up.
Yeah. Like rule number 1 of a fucking horror movie: don't split up.
But again, it's a movie.
There's strength in numbers.
Patty and Sarah continue down the tunnel, and the killer miner appears. Harry appears again, who then axes Patty in the stomach, killing her.
Wow.
Sarah's able to escape down another tunnel and then is found by TJ. Up top, the search party has arrived and begins to descend down into the mine on foot.
Yeah, I bet Patty is sure wishing she'd have kept climbing now, huh?
I don't think Patty's wishing for anything. She did.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you want to see my Patty impression?
Yeah, let's see. Thanks
Yeah,
for
you're
that.
welcome.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
That was a good visual. Thanks. At the carts, TJ is able to get the carts going just as the killer appears and seems to wait for them to get moving. Like he really just waits for the carts to start moving up the tunnel before hopping on to the carts himself. Shovel battle! TJ and the killer kind of go back and forth. TJ has a shovel and the Mr. Miner or Mr. Warner has his axe. And it's just a showdown of landscaping tools at this point. It's... What?
Fucking Mr. Miner. Oh, fuck, man. You should have been calling him that this whole time.
Oh, yeah? You like Mr. Miner?
That is fucking funny, Mr. Miner. TJ is holding his own with his shovel, though, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
well, this fucking fight, man. There's like maybe like 2 scenes of back and forth where they like hit each other with their shovels and the axe.
Yeah.
At one point, TJ and the killer miner jump off the cars and Sarah jumps off with them. Like, girl, why? Stay on the car. Get the fuck out of there. Where are your survival instincts, girl?
It's like, Sarah, why'd you jump off the train? What the fuck is wrong with you? TJ's fine. He's holding his own.
Yeah.
Just get the fuck out. No. She's,
Yeah.
she's just trying to follow rule number 1.
And she
Don't
keeps
split up.
getting in the goddamn way.
She does.
She keeps getting in the way of the fighting.
He keeps having to tell her, fucking move, keep moving. And he's just getting swung at with this fucking pickaxe, dude.
It's ridiculous.
It's terrible.
It's so ridiculous. The rescue team head further down into the mine as the train drives by. TJ and Sarah get cornered into this abandoned mine shaft area by the killer. And they keep fighting some more. The killer knocks TJ to the ground and then he tries to stab TJ, but Sarah is able to pull the miner's mask off to reveal that the killer is Axel.
Oh, that's crazy, dude. And I didn't see it coming, to be honest with you. No, I didn't. I don't know, because I expected it to be Harry. I expected it to be Harry Warden, right?
Yeah.
And no, I've just been fucking shamboozled. I feel cheated.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'd like to point out that because this whole time that Axel has been the killer, there are a few like giveaways, kind of, like him kind of disappearing after the fight, and then Sylvia dies.
Yep.
There's the point where when he just rushes in when people start discovering the body parts at the party, and he instantly blames Harry Warden and wants everyone to leave.
Right.
And also Axel being the killer, when TJ is coming down the shaft and Axel hits him with the log, he knows it's TJ because there's no one else down there alive. Right. So he took that moment to fucking hit him with that fucking log on purpose, knowing it was him.
Yeah.
That is some petty ass shit.
I would say that's fucked up, but he's also been running around murdering people. Yeah. And so that's like the least fucked up thing he's done thus far.
Yeah. Yeah. What a twist. Turns out Axel is the son of one of the supervisors that left the guys down in the mine 20 years ago. And then the Axel witnessed Harry Warden murder his father. Yeah, that would cause some trauma.
Yeah. I mean, one of two outcomes in that, really. One, you become Batman, right? I don't think Axel had it in him, right?
Absolutely not.
No.
I don't think he had the money in him either.
True. Could not be Batman.
No.
Outcome 2, he becomes Harry Warden.
That's the only two options.
Yeah,
he has for his future.
That's it. Because
either vigilante or supervillain or axe murderer or serial killer.
I mean, he clearly didn't get counseling for what happened.
No, absolutely not. It was the 80s.
Poor Axel, dude.
So TJ is able to hit Axel in the chest with this giant rock that sends him back into the wall of this mining shaft, which causes the mine to collapse, trapping Axel inside. Sarah and TJ flee just in time to meet the rescue team in the tunnel. The chief then tells them that he knows it wasn't Harry because the message he got from the hospital was that Harry Warden died 5 years ago.
Man, talk about an M. Night Shyamalan twist, bro.
Oh, yeah.
It was a good twist. I liked it.
It was. I mean, it wasn't a bad twist.
No,
it was. I figured it out a while into the movie, but again, also I've seen this movie, so
true.
Yeah,
true.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'd seen it before, I probably would have figured it out earlier too.
Okay, I mean, fine. As TJ and Sarah begin to leave the tunnel, the rescue team discover that Axel isn't dead. Sarah runs back into the tunnel, needing to see Axel one last time.
Dude, I wanted to punch her in the mouth. I was just like, because she was like, TJ, I have to see him. And I'm just like, what the fuck? He just tried to murder you, bro. He tried to, like, murder the fuck out of you.
Yeah.
And you feel bad for him? Or
I don't know.
what?
I have no idea.
Dude.
It's strange. Through the rubble, Sarah sees a one-armed Axel crawling deeper into the mine. He screams that he'll be waiting in hell for TJ and then calls out to Harry. He threatens the town and then asks Sarah to be his bloody Valentine.
Yep.
And then as he leaves, he sings a very haunting lullaby, and it goes, "Daddy's gone away. Harry Warden made him pay." Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty creepy.
It is very creepy. And then we fade to black.
Yeah.
As Axel's miner's light fades into the distance.
Mm-hmm. How about that musical ballad for the end credits, though?
Bro, that was like, I don't know. I think, was that Woody Nelson?
So the song was called Harry Warden's Ballad, and it was an afterthought of the composer Paul Zaza.
Oh, not Woody.
Yeah.
I said Woody Nelson. I meant Willie Nelson. I'm so sorry about that. I'm an idiot.
I didn't catch it, so I'm also an idiot.
Anyways.
My Bloody Valentine is a Canadian slasher film directed by George Mihalka. Mihalka. And produced by John Dunning and Andre Link. It was released during the early 1980s slasher boom and is known for the mining town setting and gruesome killings, gruesome kills, many of which were heavily edited by the MPAA to secure an R rating. Mm-hmm. Did the movie feel like it was missing some stuff to you?
Kinda.
Good. We'll get into the editing, but the original, when I first watched it, I remember it being a lot more like bloody. Mm-hmm. And I was like, it seems like shots are missing from this. Mm-hmm. And then when I was doing research, I realized that, yeah, okay.
Interesting.
Yeah. Editing, heavily edited. The MPAA strikes again. Mm. So here is our cast. We have Paul Kilman as TJ, Lori Hallier. Hello, that's Sarah. Neil Affleck as Axel Palmer. Keith Knight as Hollis. Alf Humphreys as Howard. Yep. Cynthia Dale as Patty. Helene. Uddy as Sylvia. Don Franks. Don Franks as Chief Jake. And then Larry Reynolds as the mayor. So, no one I recognize there at all. Yeah. The film was produced by Canadian film company Cineplex and shot in Sydney Mines, Nova Scotia. The location was chosen for its authentic mining town aesthetic. But when the town found out about the movie, they ended up paying $50,000 to have the mine fixed up. In return, the production company had to spend $75,000 to have the place returned to its original state. Love that. Love that so much.
Oh, man, that's so stupid. Oh, that sucks.
So the movie was heavily censored by MPAA, which forced the filmmakers to remove nearly 9 minutes of violent footage to secure an R rating instead of an X. This was due to the backlash against the slasher films at the time, particularly after the controversy surrounding Friday the 13th. So the scenes that were cut or altered. So the first one is Mabel's death. Originally, Mabel's burned and mutilated body was shown for a longer period, with more detailed close-up to her charred skin. It was forced to remove most of the footage. Also, you can watch these cuts or these edited, the unedited versions on YouTube.
Nice.
Yeah, I went and watched all of the or most of them. There's still one. I'll get into it, but most of these you can find like on YouTube and stuff now, so you can see what's missing.
Nice.
Happy's death. The town's bartender is actually impaled by the pickaxe. The uncut version showed the pickaxe bursting from his eye socket and the eye hanging out of his head, and then the killer actually drags him off like with the mine still in his head. It's pretty not great. I'm not saying great. It was pretty gruesome. That's the word I'm looking for. There we go. Dave's boiling water kill, the hot dog boy. And they get a shot of actually what it looks like from underneath the water. Because in the edited version, you just see his head in the pot from the surface.
Yeah.
But they actually have shots of his face in the water, and it gets pretty boiledy.
Yeah, I know you see, because you see a more close up
of the head
in the fridge, and he's all blistered, and it's pretty gross.
Sylvia's shower head impalement. You get to see her, like, the whole body. Like, in the edited version, you see him pick her up by her head and then thrust her, and then you see her feet at some point. But you actually see her whole body hanging up from the shower head. You see what John sees.
Yeah.
Hollis's death, originally, Hollis was shot multiple times in the face with a nail gun. And it lingered, the shot lingered more on his face than it's actually in the cut. I'll come back to Mike and Harriet in just a moment. Actually, no, we'll go ahead. Originally, Mike and Harriet's death was meant to be shown on screen in an elaborate sequence where the miner kills them with an auger while they make love. However, the MPAA outright rejected the scene, forcing it to be completely removed rather than just edited down like the other sequences. To this day, the scene remains unrestored in all uncut releases. The scene still lost, even with the new uncuts released. So when I went to YouTube to watch the cuts, they were all of them were there, but Mike and Harriet's scenes are completely erased. Like, there's no one knows where they are, or if they even exist anymore. The flashback to Axel's father being murdered by Harry Warden was more graphic, including shots eating. It says I read his flesh, but I think in the movie he's actually eating the heart. And this was nearly removed entirely, so you don't really see. You see in the edited version, Harry hit the dad, and then he falls to the ground, and you see Axel under the bed. But there was a lot more blood and gruesomeness added in the original. And then Axel's arm. When Sarah rushes back to see Axel one last time, there's a scene where she sees his trapped arm and reaches for it. Unknown to her, that Axel is on the other side of the cave, cutting it off with a pocket knife. The arm grabs a hold of Sarah and is then torn from Axel's body as the miners try to pull Sarah free.
Ooh.
Yeah. For years, the fans considered that the uncut footage was lost, but in 2009, Lionsgate released a special edition DVD and Blu-ray featuring the missing gore restored from a discovered work print. However, the restored footage is low quality than the rest of the film.
Still, I mean, it's always nice to see footage being restored or a lost film, you know. I mean, especially hell, from like the early 20th century. I mean, there was tons of lost films. I think MGM or somebody had a big fire and lost a lot of films. But yeah, I feel like sometimes the MPAA kind of overreaches and, you know, takes out a lot of things that I don't know, take away from the actual story of the film. You know, like having those scenes in the film would have made the film that much more impactful than it really was. Because right now, like, it's just a classic like B horror slasher. Like, you know, it's not really all that bad, but if the footage had been restored or left alone entirely, it would have been that much more, you know, gruesome to watch for sure. Yeah. I believe that there is a certain line with art in cinema that you should not cross. And that line is, it gets a little blurry every now and then, but I think as
moral beings and humans, we should really understand where that line is.
Yeah.
And showing like a bunch of blood and gore that we know is fake from a movie that is incredibly just fantasized. It's a little, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
You don't have to edit this. I mean, we understand that it's fake. And we understand that it's an art form, and it shouldn't be edited to that point. I can understand the reason why they kind of cut the Mike and Harriet, because it deals with like a sexual matter. So I can understand people can be really touchy about that. But to me, I'm like, it's fake. It's a horror movie. Like, bad and gory shit is supposed to happen.
Yeah, it's to me, it's kind of like if you went to the Sistine Chapel, right, and covered up, Adam's penis on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel because it was, too whatever you want to call it,
right?
Like, to censor it, and it's like, why would you do that?
It's just a human form, but also like using the Sistine Chapel as a reference, comparing it to like My Bloody Valentine it's kind of funny. It's good, like that's a little.
Well, I mean,
it's goofy.
It is goofy, but I mean, in terms of it being, they're both art forms.
We get the message. Yeah,
so
we understand. Yeah,
it's just silly.
It's like. People sometimes, and I've said this several times, people kind of get their boundaries kind of blurred.
Yeah. I mean,
some people can't handle things.
Yeah. If you don't want to see the gruesome, then don't watch the movie.
Yeah, exactly. Leave it alone. If it's not your thing, you understand that it's not your thing.
Yeah.
All right. The film earned $5.7 million from a $2.3 million budget, making a little bit of a profit. However, Paramount had higher expectations, hoping it would perform similar to Friday the 13th. When My Bloody Valentine made less than a third of what Jason Voorhees' debut had, the studio was disappointed. As a result, they declined to pursue a sequel and allowed their rights to the franchise to lapse without objection. This decision later paved the way for the 2009 remake, which was produced by Lionsgate instead.
Yeah, I definitely need to sit down and watch the remake, just to see if it is more gorier, I guess. Have you seen it?
I've seen it. It's been years since I've seen it. But yeah, I don't remember it being much better. I don't remember being impressed or anything with it. So, yeah.
Well, at some point I'll sit down and watch it.
Yeah. There also is a fan-made film in 2023 called Valentine Bluffs about TJ and Sarah trying to move on with their lives, but it's disrupted years later by similar killings.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's I saw like a little bit of the trailer. It seems like almost like a retelling, kind of, but I didn't really get into it too much. But yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. I always love fan films.
I love how a simple project from like 20, 30, 40 years ago can like continue to have life. Yeah. And that's another, point of this podcast.
Yep.
So, but yeah that's My Bloody Valentine.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. Yeah, well, so what do we have for them next week?
So next week we are going to be watching The Stuff.
Ooh, The Stuff.
Yeah.
That sounds very cool.
Still kind of sticking in the 80s.
Yeah.
I need to, we're going to switch it up soon, but, yeah.
Yeah.
Just feeling 80s lately.
Yeah, I mean, well, let's see. We're coming up on the verge of episode 40.
Yeah.
Which we've already discussed is going to be Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
So very excited about that. Let's see what else is in the making here. We've got working on the video stuff. Yeah. So that's very cool. And I think that's about it, right?
Yeah, I mean, we are focused on creating the set to have actual YouTube videos of us And we're getting prepared for that. We're going to be posting media on Patreon. So you should definitely look into that. There's our first video is going to be on Patreon.
Yes.
Soon. And that's pretty cool. And we'll probably continue to post the unedited versions of the podcast probably on the Patreon.
Yeah.
So you can catch whatever you're missing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like we said at the beginning of the episode, the video version of this episode will be exclusive to Patreon. Starting out, obviously, once we get more into it, we'll have YouTube versions and stuff as well.
Yep. So right now, videos are just strictly Patreon.
Yep.
But when we get the set, we're moving on.
Yep.
We're going to be posted on YouTube.
Very exciting. Very exciting. Thank you for tuning in to Animate and Watch. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to check out our other episodes where we dive more into eerie and thrilling films. You can find us on Spotify, YouTube, Patreon, or anywhere else you get your podcasts. Stay connected with us on social media. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Blue Sky, and Patreon for updates and behind-the-scenes content. For more information and to explore our full episode library, visit our website at www.animatehimwatch.com. Your support means the world to us, and we'd love to hear your thoughts and feedback. Share your favorite moments, suggest movies for us to cover, or just say hi.
Yep.
But that wraps it up for us. So, as always, stay spooky.
Bye.